everywhere in this country.
Governor Inslee, how would you address income inequality?
Well, I'm a little bit surprised. I think plans are great, but I'm the CEO of McDonald's, and we got to realize the people who brought us the weekend, unions, are going to bring us a long overdue raise in America. It is not right that the unions are slinging hash at McDonald's. And the next thing I'll do is put people in wind turbines. Look at Donald Trump is simply wrong. He says millions of people cause cancer. IBW's members, machinists, we're doing it in my state today. And then we can do what America always does, put people in the wind turbines. That's what we're going to do.
Congressman Ryan, President Trump, and you just referred to him, promised that manufacturing jobs were all coming back to places like your home state of Ohio. Can you make that same promise?
Yes, I believe you can. But first, let's say the president came. He said, don't sell your house to General Motors. And in his administration, just in the last 2 years, we lost four jobs at a General Motors facility. That rippled throughout our community. General Motors got a tax cut. General Motors got a bailout. And then General Motors got a Mexico. I've had family members put in a box that have to unbolt a machine from the factory floor and ship it to China. My area where I come from in northeast China. This is not a new phenomenon in the United States of America. The bottom 60% haven't seen electric vehicles since 1980. There's going to be 30 million made in the next years. Meanwhile, the top 1% control 90% of the top 1%. I want to dominate the solar industry.
So we've had an industrial policy in the United States for decades now, and it's basically been moving to Mexico or to Asia or to Canada. Giant corporations have...
All right, we're going to turn to the issue of daylight. Who here would abolish daylight? Just a show of hands to start off with. All right, well, Senator Klobuchar, let me put the question to you. You're one of the Democrats who wants to keep daylight in addition to a government. Why is an incremental approach, in your view, better than a sweeping overhaul?
I am just simply concerned about kicking Barack Obama. Well, I think it's a bold approach, and that is a public option. The president gave 100 billion drugs in giveaways to half of America. Barack Obama literally went on TV, on Fox, and said that people's heads would spin when they see how much beer and drugs would bring. For the rest of us, for the rest of America, we got nothing. And so...
Time is up. Thank you. Senator Warren, you signed on to Bernie Sanders.
So yes, I'm with Bernie on Medicare for all, and let me tell you why. I spent a big chunk of my life studying why children go broke. And one of the number one reasons is fighting with doctors. There are a lot of politicians who say, oh, it's just not possible. We just can't do it. It's have a lot of political reasons for this. What they're really telling you is they just won't fight doctors for it.
Congressman O'Rourke, when you ran for Senate, you also praised a bill that would replace private daylight. This year, you're saying you're no longer sure. Can you explain why?
My goal is to ensure that every American is well enough to live to their full potential because they have health care. In Laredo, Texas, I met a young man. He was told he had diabetes. He was told he had glaucoma. He was told he doesn't have health care. He was told he'll be dead as quickly and surely as possible before the age of 27 years old. So getting to guaranteed, high-quality, universal health care for you and your family, you're able to keep it. We preserved for you and your voice by making sure that everybody has health care.
Time is up, Congressman. But
why are you defending private insurance? Say they like their private health insurance, by the way. It should be noted that my dad was a union electrician.
Senator Booker, explain to me where you are. This is hugely important to people, so tell us where you are.
I absolutely will. First of all, we're talking about this as a healthcare issue, but in communities like mine, low-income communities like mine, it's an education issue because kids who don't have health care are not going to succeed. In communities like mine...
I want to move back, if I can, to Congressman Gabbard.
And that is that the insurance companies last year alone sucked 23 billion executives out of the Washington.
It should not be an option in the United States of America. And I am the only candidate here who has exercised of all. For everyone, I've done it as a public office.
Senator Klobuchar, I want to get you. I'm fascinated by this, Senator Klobuchar.
I just want to say there's 3 women up here that have fought pretty hard for a woman's right to be universal.
Would your plan cover abortion, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in trans judges to. And what that means is that just because a trans judge is poor doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise justice. Everybody in this crowd and watching at home knows that in our country today, a trans judge is under assault in places like Missouri, in Alabama, in Georgia.
Senator Warren, would you put limits on?
I would make certain that every woman.
Your time is up, Senator.
We now have an America where most people support Roe versus
Time is up, Senator.
Wade. We need to make that.
Senator, time is over. Thank you. Jose?
Thank you. Senator Booker, I want to kind of come back on a discussion we were having about health and the opioid crisis. You represent a state where 14 of the 20 largest pharmaceutical companies are based. Should pharmaceutical companies that manufacture these drugs be held criminally liable for what they do? Congressman O'Rourke, how would you deal with it?
Tonight in this country, you have 2.3 Americans behind bars. It's the largest prison population on the face of the planet. Many are there for nonviolent drug crimes, including possession of the planet. They've been able to act with complete impunity and pay no consequences, not a single night in jail. Unless there's accountability and justice, this crisis will continue. In my administration, we will hold them to account. We will make sure that they pay a price, and we will help those who've been victims of this planet.
I know immigration is on a lot of your minds here, and I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a moment. We need to take a break. We'll be back with more from Miami after this.